All right. Brandon, what's up, man? Oh, I got everything I need tonight. I think I do. I think. Mr. Millen, hello, hello. Man, this thing is beat. Super beat. Oh, Finishing wiping up the print a little bit, got a little dirty, a little dusty. It's been a minute since I printed on this thing. It's been a minute. Wait another minute, a bit more come in. Hey, Jim. The thing with extrusions, that if they sit open, they get so dusty. Whether you use a printer or not, it gets so dusty. So everyone's against the like race stripes that Crowdy was using for a while, but honestly, they keep your printer cleaner. It seems to be pretty clean now. That's good. Gunner. Brandon, I was not planning on flashing New Marlin unless there's some firmware homies in the chat. It's an older board, so this is an MKS S Gen 1.4. It's running, I believe it's running 2100s. Or yeah, these are TMC 2100s, and Z and E are A4988s. Pretty sure those are 2100s. Let me pull one out real quick. We're not plugged in. What do we say there? Or does that say 2208? Man, I cannot read that small text. Oh, BLV, you're kidding me. You're in the way, bro. You're in the way. I need the magnifying glass. It's 2208s. I have 2208s on the X and Y, and Z and E are A4988s. Because I don't like the waste drivers. And I'm cheap because those are free. No, Brandon, it is totally different. So I picked up an MKS, or I'm sorry, a Big Tree Tech TFT 35 E3 V3 is what I had picked up. And I already went ahead and printed a case on the, this came off of the ANET A8 Plus, and it looks fantastic. It is in the black from Jesse, it's Jesse PLA from Printed Solid, and it's their black, and it looks pretty good. Let me get you guys in here. So, zoom this in. So it's a glass bed, so obviously you've got that like super shininess, which I'm not a big fan of when you're doing like surface area like this, but you can see the corners did lift just a smidge off that glass. But yeah, so it actually, the filament is kind of like one of those sparkly ones. Can we focus on there? There, you can kind of see the sparkles in it. There you go. But it prints down its face, and it has this adjustable side piece to it, so it's going to sit the screen at a bit of an angle right down here, like that, is where it's going to end up going on this side instead of that side. I could have mirrored it, But think about that when I printed it, so we're gonna have to go with this for now. Because there's no other way, unless I run it upside down and backwards. I'd have to mirror the whole thing though. But it's gonna end up sitting right there instead of this one. This one is dead. I did confirm that it is the screen and not the board that's dead, because I was able to hook up a regular old RepRap Smart controller, the 2004 LCD one, and it worked just fine. So I do know that this is dead. This is not. I made the mistake of plugging this in. I think I unplugged it when it was live. I thought it was off, and then that just killed the screen. So that's where we are with that. Where are we at here? Yeah, Jesse PLA. I've bought 2 rolls of it. This is the first roll that I've kind of gotten into, and so far so good. Can't really complain about it. It seems to be working really well on a super duper cheap printer. I'd love to see what it does on a better printer, like on the Mark III's or something like that. But on the ANET A8 Plus, the print is phenomenal. Really is. I was pleasantly surprised with it. I mean, the extruder on that thing sucks, but for a $180 printer, it's good print quality. So can't argue with that. Arena Hypercube 0.9 steppers, been amazing. Yeah, Kayla, these are still 1.8s. These are still these are actually from my no, I bought these ones separately. Yeah. I think these are old Folger Tech ones. Some of them are. Maybe they're not, but either way, these are bottom of the barrel, as cheap as you can buy them steppers. I wanted to make this printer as cheap as possible when I was building it. If you've noticed a trend when I do my builds, that's pretty much me. But yeah, but these are super duper cheap 1.8s. Print quality of this thing is good. I actually have not used this since early in the pandemic because I was printing a bunch of face shields on it, and that was the last time I used it. So it was like May, like 5 months or so since I've used this. That's why it needed a bit of a dust off, because it has been sitting dormant on the shelf. Yeah. Hang on 1 second. Family needs me. All right, sorry about that. Yeah, family's watching tonight. Let's see here. Chris Travis, what's up, man? So yeah, the goal is to get this LCD installed. I was not planning on upgrading Marlin. I don't know if will Marlin 2 run on an MKS Gen 1.4. I don't really know. I didn't really think about doing Marlin from scratch on here. Then go to the MKS GitHub and see what I say. This is the Gen V1.4. Gen 1.4. Here. They might not have anything for this. We're gonna just change the screen type. That was the whole plan. Where's the Gen L? X Gen, Robin 2. MKS Robin, Robin Light, MKS Gen. There it is. I think that's it. Oh, let's see here. Oh, they do have a Marlin 2.0 build for it, I think. Well, let's just download this. Download the zip. I guess we're going to go ahead and try new Marlin on this. So once I get this all loaded up, switch it up here. Let me look at, let's see, let's get, Arduino IDE. Let's go to this, over, open. It's probably going to be on the server, right? I don't have it locally. Only Marlin 2 stuff's local. Document chain, 3D printing, Arduino, Hypercube. The last I have on here is 1.1.8, what I think it is. Where are we at? Here we are. I wouldn't mind Marlin 2 one day, but I mean, it's not necessary for me either way. CD and SD support. Okay, so the last I put on here, speaker, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the smart controller is what was on there. So, Kayla, no, I should be able to use the current Marlin that's on there. I'm a big fan of it ain't broke to fix it. I really don't want to configure and try and figure out how to get Marlin 2 working on this tonight at least. I don't really see it as a big sell point right now for it, but I need to figure out what this is under, because I don't know what to enable for that one. I thought it would be a full graphic. Didn't try that though. It might be, that's might be what it is. Pretech TFT 35-E3V3. Firmware, what does it say here? It tells me what I need to do. So we're probably gonna run this in Marlin mode, what we're gonna do. And yeah, I think if we run this in Marlin mode, it should just be the smart, the full graphic, I believe. Fortnite, what's up, dude? I remember you. The resolution's bad? I mean, it's 1920 by 1080. Should be 1080p for everybody right now. I think Bob is just watching me on a potato. Might be what it is. I really think it's just going to be the smart one, right? It's does have a port for Wi-Fi, doesn't it? It does have a Wi-Fi port. I wonder if I have a Wi-Fi card for this. I don't think I do, though. Wow, that was a whole lot of nothing. So if we do, we're going to take off this cable here. Guess I'll go and remove this real quick. I did like this screen, but man, it was such a scoopy, simple mount for it. It's literally just a flat mount with 6 holes in it. 4 for the LCD, 2 mounting holes. They're M5s. It's really all it was. Nothing really special for this thing. But this sucker is dead. Sad to see, but it is what it is. So I just need to steal these M5s off of it for the new screen. Steal the SD card as well. And the nice thing about these, I mean, these LCD screens have so much like built onto the back of them. It's insane. I am going to look real quick, see if I have a Wi-Fi chip. I thought I did. Oh. I have an MKS Wi-Fi chip. I have 2 MKS Wi-Fi chips. I think I have some other ones coming in at a later date. I think I do. Where's some of them blocks at? Here. Did I buy this one with a Wi-Fi chip? I thought I bought 2 of these because I didn't know if I would need another one or not. But I did also buy them for some of the SKR minis to be able to put onto other printers. I needed some LCD screens for them, or I needed some new boards. Yeah, so what we're doing tonight is we're just replacing the screen, which means we need to mess in Marlin a little bit and get this new screen working on here. And maybe, just maybe, I'll look into Marlin too, but it's pretty unlikely. It's just truly not necessary for this machine. Having 32-bit is nice. So like I would just do a whole different board if I was going to go as far as changing out Marlin. I would put a 32-bit board in there first. So this is EXP1 here. So 1 to 1, 2, 2. Don't even know if this pinout is going to work though, so we'll have to wait and see. I need to get my USB cable. I need to make it a little bit longer here. There. All right, we're in there. So we're going to try with just this full graphic. That should do it there. Close. Mega. Is probably COM14 if I had to guess. So I'd rather sell the printer than doing a custom firmware. I have been doing so much custom firmware lately. I am getting better at it. I'm still nowhere near a pro, but I am getting better at it. It's just taking me time to kind of just figure it all out. I've been playing in Marlin 2 a lot because I figured I did the Megatron, did the Bear. We're getting ready to do Ultra Magnus. So I did the firmware for Master Crane as well. So I have been dealing a lot more in firmware lately, but I've been doing a lot more custom builds. So it's kind of been that way for me. Uploading, we're uploading. Yes, I picked the right COM port. I always just roll the dice and never really look. So it's really 50-50 whether you get it or not. But I think if I'm going to keep this printer, I think it's going to be time to go ahead and do some upgrades to it, or I'm just going to use this as the frame for the Core XY that Aaron and I are looking at building. He's started a few conceptual drawings for it, but I think this might end up being the frame that I use for that printer, because the Hypercube was cool. It did its part. It taught me a lot. I got to do a great build series on it, but it just it's a little dated now, you know. Tommy's here. Dan, what's up, dude? Dan, I saw your thing on Twitter. Hit me up when it gets closer. I don't have anything scheduled for that day, but I'd be happy to hop on a stream if that's what you're planning on doing. Okay, so firmware is flashed. Now we're going to go ahead and grab a power cable from down here. See if we get a display. Let's go to here. Nada. A whole lot of nothing. I'm wondering if I need to reverse the cables around for this one. This is why I don't like LCDs, because there is no standard. Literally, there's not a single standard at all for these. Flipping it around did a whole lot of nothing. So I think we're going to need to just try flipping the cables entirely. Because usually that's what you have to do. This is 2 going into 2. Way 1 going into 1. I'm gonna go this way for now. Let's see if this works. You guys aren't seeing anything right now. There we go. That didn't work. Let's try flipping it now this way. I think we need to go in the other way. I already cut the registry pin off of these ones. Oh no, this pin I didn't. Didn't on this one here. Shapwing! Works now. Hey, that's what it was. Look at that. Oh man. Wow, that's responsive. Holy heck. Holy heck. No printer attached. That's because I'm not in emulation mode. So that's the one thing I don't know. So I'm on touchscreen mode right now. So, oh yeah, we got it. We got it, Tommy. Pepsi, not a sponsor yet. Okay, so because we're in touchscreen mode, I need to find that documentation. So that's the TFT connection right here, the RS232 connection. Now the question is, where does that plug into on an MKS Gen 1.3, 1.4, sorry. When using serial aux 1 on the motherboard. Aux 1. Press and hold the button. What button? The one in the front? That was insane. But now it does nothing. Oh, there it is. Info screen. That's cool. Oh, we auto home. We're homing. There we go. Man, that was cool. SD card slot work. Card inserted. And we home Z like that. Wow, that could not have been easier. Rid of the green thing on there. All right. Print from SD card. Bam, there it is. And it's pretty slow at it though. All right, video's over. We're done. That was easy. Yeah, I changed the color in the screen firmware. Yes, I have seen about that. Let me find their firmware for the screen here real quick. Oh, excuse me. Well, I think it's going to be this one right here. So it should be this right here, I think. Screen firmware. Configuration. If I go back to touchscreen mode, I can change it in there. Can I now? Can I now? Go here. Well, let's see. Let's hold this in. Go touchscreen mode. Okay. So we're going to go menu, custom. No, that's not it. Settings, screen. The black, we'll keep that as black. And let's go with, we'll do black and white. We'll do black and white for this one. Sound on. Calibration. green. There we go. So we're doing black and white. White. There we go. I'm not seeing anything about changing the size though. Size from Marlin mode. I'm not seeing that in here. There's the touchscreen adjustment, English, sound, color. Man, there is so much in this LCD screen. Holy heck. April 11th, 2020 on version 26. You can send G code from this? Holy man. All right, well, let's switch to Marlin mode. There we go. It's white now. But it's definitely not big enough. I didn't see anything in the thing on how to change that. What'd you send me now, Brandon? Send me the wrong thing again? E3V3. There we go. Yeah, this is the one I had already. Is this for the E3? Yeah, it's for the E3. Yeah, I think the firmware is this one right here, this V26. But I have here. I have no idea how to edit any of the info on this thing though. None whatsoever. Thing, I don't need any of that. Features and scroll down to a checkbox from Marlin mode full screen. All right, let me switch back here. Screen mode. Features. Scroll down. Okay, here. Rotary knob LED on. Oh yeah. That'll look cool. All right, we're gonna keep that. Even though it's probably not gonna work all the way, but whatever. Marlin in full screen. Doom. Mode. Wow, there we go. That is nice and big. And it looks like a phone, like those senior citizen phones that are like have the gigantic font. That's what that looks like. Also, auto screen dimming and screen timeout. Let's take a look at that. Let's go back into that. I almost want to do touchscreen mode, honestly. This is pretty cool. Oh, I can change the color of the knob. That's so clutch. You can do white, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Get the whole Roy G. Biv going here. I don't think it's going to work with this though. So I'll have to change that up, I think. Um, let's I kind of look up this pinout. I want to see if I can get this hooked up to the auxiliary port on this. I do want to see that. Is even a printer if it's not RGB? Man, RGB all the things. I tell you, I am the Linus of 3D printers. I will RGB everything and I will drop everything. Exactly like he does. All right, there's our auxiliary right there. 1 and 2. But those are only 4 pins. I need 5 pins for this. This takes. Pretty sure I need to have that those 5 pins, right? If I go to here, part pin. Give me the pin out. What's the pin out? Pin. Okay, so it's the TF. We're looking for the RS-232 port. Not seeing it on here. What's up, Llama? I don't want to plug this in the wrong way because I really don't want to fry it. I'm genuinely concerned about that. It tells you right here to press the encoder about 3 seconds until the mode selector appears, then press the encoder after selecting the mode. Mama Core's live again. Nice, dude. It's been a while to see you post anything about that. I guess I've seen you working on it. I just have not been participating. Connected. To ETT, TFT, 35, E3, E3, NKS, Gen 1.4. Everybody's putting this on new boards. I'm trying to put this on an old board. I don't see it. I don't see it. We would do MKS Gen 1.4 touchscreen. Come on, tell me what to do. Man, I need Keith. Keith, where you at, brother? You're not here tonight. Or if you are, speak up. Need to help a brother out tonight. Because this does not, none of this gives me the freaking pinout of the board. Oh, RS230. I'm stupid. It's right there. So 5-volt ground. All right. So which is this singular pin? That is going to be 5 volts. I need to get 5-volt from somewhere. Put this in here. Okay. So now I need to get to the pin out. And no, I found the pin out for the cable right here. So it's 5-volt ground, PA2, PA3, and reset. So now, well, I just see it now, Brandon. I didn't see it at first. Good gravy. Give me a break. 5-volt ground, D1, D2, or A3, A4. So the reset one is the one that's AWOL on this. So I could hook it up without having the reset button, right? That should technically work. 5-volt being the one closest to USB. So if I do it here, like that, or I just need to remap it to aux2. If I put it on aux2, I don't know which one of those is a reset though. No, the single wire is ground. There is 5-volt. If I'm looking at it the right way, unless this is flipped. From left to right, 5-volt. And left to right here is 5-volt, unless 5-volt is on the right and it's looking left to right this way. I don't know. That's a horrible job at telling me the orientation of the pins. Yeah, so these 5 right here, I don't know if the left is 5-volt or if the right is 5-volt. The back of the board, Jim, is not labeled. It literally just says, there's no way I can zoom in far enough on this camera. It just says RS232, and there's no other markings around it at all for what each of the pins are for. Yeah, really nothing back there. But I mean, if 5-volt is, then that reset would be the single pin then. If that's the case. If that is the case, then I have no idea where the reset pin is on that. So the 5-volt and TFT is the long dashed cable. Oh, well, that's totally wrong then if that's the case, Grubby. Because here in the schematic, 5-volt's on the end in the schematic. Or on the pin out here. And the long dashed cable is the second pin, not the end pin. I got a dot cable, short dash cable, X cable, long dash, and then a no marks at all, just straight black cable. It can't be right, Grubby, because that's not what the schematic says. I don't know if you guys can read it, but right here it says the end pin is 5 volt. But the short dashed is the second pin, is the second cable. It's the second cable on either side. It's not the end cable or the end pin like this schematic says it is. So I'm looking at the cable and wire. Yes, the end pin, which is the outside cable by the X wire. You got me confused now, brother. So, can you focus on my hand? There we go. So you have dot, short dash, X, long dash, nothing. The nothing cable on this side is what goes to this, or I'm sorry, the dotted cable on the one side, the dots on the far outside, runs to the single line here. Yeah, that's not how mine goes. Come on, focus on my hand. Yeah, so I've got dot, short dash, X, long dash. Yeah, I'm thinking you guys have different cables than what I have. Your cables don't match what mine are, and this pinout code does not match. So the single pin is reset. The outside pin on the other side of connector is 5 volts. Okay, so if that's the case, that can't be it. Unless the cable's backwards in the schematic than what they say. So that means that the non-marked wire is 5 volts then. The non-marked wire goes to 5 volts. And the reset pin, I have no idea where that goes to. The MKS Gen 1.4 does the reset pin go to? See ya, llama. You don't need the reset pin, but I'd like to have it because otherwise I have no way to reset the printer. Because so this entire bit here gets covered up. I can't reach the board reset pin, so I have to use the pin on the front. The other thing I could see to do is to change up how it's connecting. So instead of connecting to the auxiliary 1, I would hook up to the auxiliary 2, which has 5 pins. The MKS board TFT connector doesn't have, correct, it does not. So I've got 5-volt grounds, D1, D2, A3, and A4, whatever those are. I'd have to find the full pin out for that. I mean, it has to have. Oh, I guess it doesn't because. Well, the reset's just to work. All right, let's fire it up and see what happens. If I blow this, then I blow it. But. Well, it didn't blow up. Does it detect the printer? No printer attached. So I wonder, do I need to enable something else in Marlin for that? Because I have the full graphics smart controller enabled right now. So what do I need to enable for that TFT? The baud rate set right? That's an excellent question. Reset button works without that. At 2500. Pretty sure that's why I've set that in the firmware here. Yeah, 25, 250. Oh, I dropped that. That's gonna happen. Still not getting connection. Yeah, there's got to be something else down here in the LCD that I'm missing. So the serial set in Marlin. Yes, I do. To 250K. Looking here through Marlin to see what. I don't even know what I had it set for the old screen because I changed it. To see stuff. Hello. The OLED one. Megawatt Mini, MKS Mini panel, CR10 stock display, MKS OLED full graphic display. Hmm. It isn't under one of the screens. It is no different than connecting any other serial controller. Computer's not hooked up to this. Never mind. Activated my AliXA because her name is Computer. See here. Expiration. Here's something. The dog LCD. Do. This compile if I do that, or do I have to do the other one out? Ryan, you're right. You can only have one serial connection at a time, but within this LCD controller, you can actually disconnect from the serial connection, so you can connect your computer, and it tells you that in the LCD screen itself. So if I pull that out, okay, yeah, because that just tweaks it out. So if I go menu, settings, disconnect, it's now disconnected on the serial wise of it. You can go ahead and upload this to it. At least that's what that screen's telling me it does. Yeah, be able to connect the serial port. Let's try it again. Now it's not wigging out. So it says now you control your printer by your computer. Touch anywhere to exit. There it is. Yep. Once I connected it, I hit that, and then it was good, it looks like. I think. You're going to find out here real soon. Reading and writing right now. Reading again. Okay. Now if I reset this, disconnect this. Reset this again. Card inserted. Still no printer attached. It's still not liking it. Again, unless I have it wired wrong. But I do have an LED on the back of this. Now that it's connected on that way. The speed is set in there. By flipping it, I'm a little afraid to do that because I don't want to send the 5 volts to the wrong thing. And 5 volt is definitely the end pin. No, that's the end pin. Again, unless that's the end pin. But we think that's the reset, don't we? Yep, that's not right. That's not right. Okay, yeah, it was right the other way around. This way here, like that. That didn't work. Yeah, when I flipped it, it had like these weird lines through it. I was sending 5 volts to the wrong place. So I don't want to do that again. Yeah, well, again, a single pin is reset on this side. That means 5 volts on the far side. If I flip those, that's not going to work out because I'm having 5 volts going to the wrong thing. It's the SD card is the single dotted line, which goes to, okay, let me show you guys one more time. Because I'm thinking that there is definitely confusion here amongst everybody, including myself. So the closest pin to the LCD when this is plugged, or to the SD card, is the, come on, okay, this right here, this dotted line, this is the closest one when I plug this in. So I plug it in this way when it goes in. So this side right here is the dotted line. That is the single cable by itself. Right there, see? That is the single cable. So if that's the reset pin, then it's all backwards. We've tried that. It's not working. Because I just tried it with this running to 5 volts. That did not work. I have this one, the plain Jane one here, nothing on it, running to 5 volts, which is the opposite side. So something there is not working. Don't know what it is, but that is how the cable harness is. Okay, if that's 5 volt power, this screen goes ape crazy. when I do that. So I don't want to fry the screen. But if I go ahead and hook that up, then 5-volt power is the closest to the USB connection. I go here to Hangout cable at. Going off this schematic right here. 5-volt for aux 1 is to the USB cable. That's aux ground. Well, I'll try aux 2. Let me try the number 2 of that. Maybe that's it there then. We run it this way here like this. Those 4 pins are on. Plug it into here. Nope, definitely not that. We flip this one around here. Now that actually looks okay now. Oh, hey. That was it. That was my bad. I was on aux, but I was on 1, not 2. So I think that's what it was. So the pinout is completely wrong. Let's just put it at that. The pinout for what they say is reverse of what it is on their schematic. And that single one is reset, but now I'm connected because now I have my temperature controls, movement, home. We home now. Home all. There we go. That was it right there. That was it. The touchscreen on this thing is fan-freaking-tastic. I'm just going to say that right now. That is honestly awesome. I want to look. Does any of that shine through to this? That does a little bit. Reset button does work, even without that reset pin in there. Whatevers. Yeah, so it is reversed. Although, hold up a second. Now that I hit reset. Okay, now it's there. Didn't really want to set up at first, did you? So, yeah. That's how we're going to look. Just like this here. Yeah, Brandon, that's way too much work. But man, this is by far the best LCD screen I have ever. Oh, I just killed it there. Yeah, that little that is whenever it has the LCD detected. So, all right. Let's go ahead, power this off. We're going to get this installed now. The coronavirus theme. I'm going to get some M3s. I have some M3s laying around here, I think. A couple shorties. There's a couple right here. 1, 2, 3. Whoop, that one's fine. One more? Come on. I don't feel like getting out. Oh, here's the fourth one. There we go. I feel like getting out the big bin O screws. So let's get this attached in here. The other thing that I was kind of surprised is that there are like 5 mounts in the world for this screen. I don't understand it. I'm guessing it's really not that popular of a screen that no one's buying it. Maybe because, I mean, I like it because it's the over-under design. The regular TFT 35 V3 is a cross, and I'm not. I like that for certain things, like the BLV has one. But I almost wonder if this would have been better on that. But I think this one has more features on it because it's a bigger PCB. Big old meat hooks in here, not working out. Oh, come on. Just 3 and come on. There we go. It's just bites into plastic. It's really nothing special. It's gonna go like this here. Should have drilled these out first, but I'm being lazy today. And these cables are a bit short. I might need to find some longer ones here. Connect to the host G-code streamline from the processor to the main board. When ideally your screen would simply control the firmware of the board. Oh, Edelstein has the same one as I'm putting on right now. You don't get any real-time commands. What do you mean, Zach, real-time commands? Like, I can still change temperature and all that. Yeah, because there is a actual terminal on here to input stuff. It Roy wouldn't be ideal, but could do it. See if I'm gonna get my Box O ribbon cables here. Shazam. And these ones that came with it are short, so we're not going to use those. See if I can find some that are a little bit longer. Otherwise, I'm going to need to adjust how I attach my my cover on here. So those are old CR10 ones. Some of these are going to be super duper long. These are all really short. These are about the same length, aren't they? Yeah, it's about the same length there. I think the only other ones I have are all of these super long ones. These two aren't bad. These two will work. Assuming I can get them to connect properly, because that was a problem I had with the, I think it was the Bear. Just could not get the LCD to cooperate. The cables just would not cooperate for me there. I think that was the Bear. Could have been Megatron too. I don't really know. But because I had these cables, they're all labeled. Everything looked the same. They just weren't working. All right, so we're doing that way. Pull this one. This guy in here. Going that way. I'm gonna clip these ones. Oops, missed a piece. Here we go. Take this out. This one in. Oh, other one. This way. Going that way. And then we got red pin going that way. So we got to snip this one again. Sorry. Ideally, this should work. Now it's not detecting the printer. Interesting. So that's interesting. So it doesn't detect the printer when there's no SD card. But when I put an SD card in and reset it, it then detects the printer. What's up with that? I mean, this board is different. I've never seen this board before. I mean, this LCD before, but that's also a very different behavior out of an LCD. That it won't connect unless unless that's in there. That's super weird. Whoops. We have this bottom screw mounted on here. I may end up modifying this screen mount here because it's a little bit unsightly. So super nitpicky. I'll show you guys. Hang on. I did not design this, so I really have little room to stand on because I didn't do it. But you can see the around this screen here. You can see the end edge of the actual LCD itself. I don't know if it's a little bit of poor positioning of the mounting screws. It's also crooked, I can see. This corner is higher, this corner is lower. So yeah, the positioning of those is a little bad, and they need to be a little bit tighter in to kind of fully cover up the outside of that LCD panel. What's wrong, Emma? All right, I gotta get a bug. I'll be right back, guys. Hang on. All right, sorry about that. I had to kill a bug. All right, well, that seems to be working so far. Yeah, I'm liking that. So there's a couple of things that I've been debating. Again, it talked about the Hypercube at the beginning. I built this like really, really close to how Tech2C originally built his. and I've been debating on a few changes. One being this hot end. It is a Bowden setup, but I have been debating on going to a direct drive, or there is a Bowden setup that is like the Mark III S is, and I actually have that one now on the Anycubic i3 Mega now has that, but there's also one that is for the Hypercube, and I've been debating on giving that one a shot or not. Or I might just upgrade the throat in this. This has a clone E3D throat, which is not fantastic. And I've been kind of thinking about getting a better one, or at least doing a different mount here, because this 30mm fan is so, like, it's so loud. And it's pretty annoying, to be honest. I really don't like it. I do have my little fan zip tied here to the shelf for the drivers, just to get a little bit of airflow on them. But once I close this up, this is I'm just using foam core. This is what I used for this part. And yeah, it's no longer going to fit very well because of this new LCD mount. So that's kind of a pain. I don't know how else to get this in there, because that's all the way up, and that just still does not fit under it. I have this so it's removable. It's really nice for that. But unless I just cut out this whole corner right here and just have a gap there, wouldn't be the end of the world. But I've got all this is marred up from the old LCDs. But I have more of this stuff, so I might cut a new one. Maybe try to measure a little bit better, because this one is not really great in there. It works, but it's not perfect. I wish it was a little bit better. So kind of got a debate about that, what I want to do there. I like this printer though, I like it. It's just not everything I was hoping it would have become, I guess. I'm hoping the BLV will be a better, which should be, the BLV will be a better Core XY than this is. It's much better engineered. It's also a lot more stable. These parts are very, very small. So if I'm getting any deflection or any issues, it's going to be in the 3D printed parts. But yeah, maybe I'll throw some test prints on it tonight, revive it for a little bit, see how it goes. Hey, Aaron, yeah, I could do a two-piece cover. But again, it almost would be easier just to notch out this one corner. It's behind and under the LCD, and there's nothing under it. I'm really just looking to protect the top of the power supply here, and mainly the board. I don't want anything falling into there. It also makes it look way cleaner with that. Again, it just so happens to be this way because of the way the screen is now mounted. With the screen face up, I just had to make space for the cables to kind of go down behind it. But now that the screen doesn't exist anymore, it's a little bit different of a story. Let me use some Nylox on this thing. What Volron is it compared to a BLV? I have heard of Volrons before. They are extremely expensive machines. Even their smallest one is several hundred, can be well over 1,000 for even their smallest one. I chose the BLV. I've said this in a previous stream. I chose the BLV for two reasons. One, it looked like a really cool design. And two, there's not much out there on it. And I really wanted to, I mean, I'm obviously not pioneering anything. There's a huge Facebook group. Ben Levi is a great participant in that group and whatnot. But I wanted to be a little fresh. There's a lot of Volron builds out there. There's not a lot of BLV builds out there. And I was kind of also looking for fresh content. I didn't need to build this machine. Ouch, that really hurt. I didn't need to build the BLV at all. I don't need a gigantic 3D printer, especially I have plenty of 300 by 300 machines that take up half the space the BLV does. Just kind of looking for content. And I thought it'd be a fun build as well, and would be unique content to bring to YouTube, because not many people have done many videos on it. So, a Volron, they're cool machines. Aaron, actually, who just commented, he's building a Volron 1, was it a 1.8, Aaron? So it's like their smallest one, which he said he chose because he has most of the parts laying around for it. So Zach, again, you might have missed my comment earlier. So Aaron and I have been discussing designing a Core XY together. I have not put any time into it yet, and he has put in a few hours with some conceptual designs for the kinematics and how to get things mounted and whatnot. But we have not really put in a ton of time yet between the two of us. I plan on doing that soon. But we both know that I was trying to finish the Bear, and I'm trying to finish the BLV, and then I've got Ultra Magnus to build here soon as well. So he's kind of he always takes the brunt of the design, don't get me wrong there, but he has taken full brunt of that right now. So that's, I would say by the end of the year, Aaron and I will definitely have a collab coming together again on a new printer build. We collabed on Megatron. We're going to collab on this new Core XY build by the end of the year is what I think we'll do. Zach, we both use Fusion 360. And he already owned the license. I just had to buy my license because I can't get into my school email address. Otherwise, I would have tried to get an educator discount. I technically qualify as a hobbyist, but the way we break out things, I don't want to have to archive and unarchive documents. So I figured for at least 1 year, I would purchase it and see where they go from there. Well, Zach, hey, dude, share it all. Go ahead down below. There's a link to Discord. That's where we hang out pretty much every single day. There is a whole channel there for 3D design. So if you have something you want to share publicly, you can do it in there. If you want to share it privately, you can always message me on there. And if people want to do other projects or collab on stuff, we can always make some custom channels for certain people to work on stuff like that. Yeah, Aaron is right. I think our Core XY, I mean, it's going to be like the other Core XY. It's just going to look cooler. I can say that. Aaron definitely has a knack for sexing up the design of parts. Can definitely say that. A lot of the cool design changes Aaron made on Megatron, I did a bunch of kind of like the core build, sent the file to him, and he made it look way better. And that happened for a lot of parts. Where I was like, hey, it'd be cool to do this, and he designed it. So when you become a 3D printing snob, you build a Volron. Well, I haven't hit the snobbishness of it yet. But again, I want to dive into things that you can't find a lot of. And that's kind of why I chose the BLV. Like, I'm trying to do NeoPixels on an SQR 1.3 with the Arduino. There's very little documentation out there on how to actually do it. And there's a bunch of people in the Discord that are trying to help me get there. And I want to be able to create that content. I just can't do it myself because I just don't know it. But I can surround myself with people that do, and they can help me kind of get there, and we can make something, and I can do a video on it and have something to share with people that is a little more unique content is kind of what I'm looking for. Oh, Quarks will end up having all the steppers in control cavity below the build area. So that's going to be like the M3D Micro. all the stepper drivers are below it. It's not a Core XY, it's more of an HBot. But it's running with the rods up the side. That'll be cool to see. Definitely hop on there and show that out, man. I got here for this setting up design parts. Because that's the other thing. So when you look at, let me see if I can show you here a little bit. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Hypercube build. Tech2C, I would not say is the best designer out there, but he has good ideas. But all of his parts are extremely blocky. Okay, I'm sorry. This is like max zoom, and these are black parts, so forgive me. But I mean, we've got a square leading over with one angle up to a blocky square. Like, there's nothing original there. These, turn this off for now. Here on the side, blocky parts. You know, you can see how blocky this is here. The way that this simple clamp is just a simple clamp. The way that how all of the, on the rod holders back here, you know, again, very simple with a hole in it, tensioner, that's it. Like, they are all 100% function before form, I guess. Like, there was no attempt to make it look really cool. And when you're designing and doing printers that are like fully 3D printed, or like, there's no metal brackets on this thing, right? Yeah, there's no metal brackets on this thing at all. There's some corner brackets I put in, they're metal, but like up here, other than that, the core build of the printer is 3D printed parts in PETG. And if those don't look cool, like the Volron, you look at the Volron hot end, it looks so freaking cool. Like the way they have it, it is a very cool looking hot end. It draws your eyes. If you look at the Volron website, it's full of just really well taken photos, and it makes people want to build it. They want it to look that cool. That's kind of what I'm looking for when I'm building and designing these 3D printers. Again, with Aaron, Megatron looks cool. Now, granted, we're using a lot of other parts. We're using bare parts. We're using the Prusa LCD screen. But some of the other parts, the way that we did the power supply, so I did the whole power supply thing, and then the enclosure, the way that the corner brackets look, the way that the Y rods are mounted, we made all those look cool because that's what someone would want. You want it, if you have a 3D printer, it's just a bunch of blockiness. It's not as cool looking. So that is, yes, Tech2C is the epitome of KISS, 100%. I don't fault him for it. This printer works. It works well. It doesn't look cool. And I think you could do a little bit more with a little more plastic by making some of these parts look by looking some of these parts a little bit cooler. That might not be for everybody. Either way, like, some people are like, well, I don't care what it looks like as long as it works well. You do you, 100%. If that's what you need for your 3D printer, then great. Caribous, those look cool. It's also really the color as well. That green pops at you, like the green of Megatron just pops at you. And I had that green from Sunlu. And I really liked it. That's why I used it for that printer. But, you know, it jumps at you. So it's also just the color that you choose for a printer. The engineering joke is every design takes 8 iterations. 100%. Yeah, again, I can't fault Volron for the designer for anything he's done. Those printers are great. They look great. They function well. They are just stupid expensive. Like, I'm sorry. The Railcorp, stupid expensive. I cannot get behind printers that cost that much money. Maybe it's just because I'm a small YouTube channel and I'm not rolling in the dough here of YouTube revenue or Patreon revenue. I mean, I make a couple $100 a month, and that couple $100 builds these small custom printers that I'm working on. If I made 4 or 5 grand a month and I could afford to invest in something like that, maybe it'd be a different story. But I am all about what can I do for the cheapest, because I built the Bear as cheap as I could. I built Megatron as cheap as I could. I built the Mark III's clone right here as cheap as I could. I built the Hypercube as cheap as I could. Those were all goals of mine when I was building all of these different machines, is how cheap can I do it? Because 95 to 98% of you guys watching my channel are not buying maker bots. You're not buying lulz bots. You're not buying Ultimakers. Most of you aren't building rail cores either. You're printing on Ender 3s, CR10s maybe, some of the different Anycubic printers, with a lot of people having Mark 3S's. So you've got that anywhere from 200 to 300 mark, and then you got like the 750 mark. So you got those two different audiences, real cheap and fairly cheap. Or what's that? What's that? Consumer and prosumer, entry level, media level. Those are kind of the two different areas that I kind of float between. That's my comfort spot. You know, I'm not Joel. I'm not breaking a $38,000 printer. It's just not me. So that's my market that I'm going for people, because that's where I'm at on my income from YouTube and Patreon and the affiliate links that you guys all use, and like all that stuff down below that people use all the time. That's where I get my money from. So that was very long-winded and a little ranty. I apologize for that, but that's kind of where I try and justify where I'm at with how I build things. And you know, there's plenty of content creators out there for YouTube for 3D printing, dozens, hundreds probably. The big channels, we all know the big six, or big seven now, how many it ends up being, but we know who they are, and they can do those big flashy things. But the rest of us down here, not so much. And for me, again, I also only use YouTube money for YouTube creation. I don't tap into my own personal funds. I try not to, at least. I did for a long time, but I try right now. I'm almost there to where I can, on a monthly basis, what I do on the channel, I make from the channel in those various different ways. Almost there. We're really close. But like the BLV, I think I have another like 3 months to pay that off from just Patreon income, if I just use that, or if I just use YouTube income, about a month and a half, I'd say. So I think Yankana, the Prusa Core XY, if that ever comes to be a thing, I think it's gonna be about $1,200, $1,250. I think it'll be less than $1,500, because, and even that, it has to be pretty doggone good, because you can build a BLV for less than $1,000. Now, granted, it's super kitty, like it's very DIY kit. Not everything comes in the kit. You might have to replace some things from it. But like what you get from Prusa, you're gonna build it. It's gonna work. Like the Mark III's works. Oh, groggy. I didn't know they. I thought they turned off auto caption. Jim says 1,400. So again, I say the 1,200 to 1,500 is gonna be somewhere in there, I think. Oh, bye. Oh, look, Jim's got the insider information. Look at him go. Well, I mean, the only reason why the Volron prints ABS so well is because it's enclosed, or mostly enclosed. The BLV is mostly enclosed. It should print ABS like a champ. I have no reason to think it won't print it well, because it's mostly enclosed. And that's kind of what you need for ABS. People are going to buy it. If it's a Prusa printer, they're going to buy it. I mean, he hasn't done wrong with the Mark III's. I've heard a lot of groanings about the Mini and its hot end. I've heard a lot of people modding it and just taking it out and putting a V6 on there instead. Um, so I haven't really like jumped on that. I've been debating. So I rarely pull from some of my other affiliate accounts and I've got a chunk sitting there on AliExpress, and I'm kind of debating on what to buy with it. Last time I had a chunk come off AliExpress, I bought my first resin printer, which was the Anycubic Photon. So I bought that one with that. So I'm kind of thinking about maybe getting a mini. I don't know. Again, the only thing I've heard complaints on the mini is the hot end. That's it. So yeah, Aaron hit it right there. Yeah, the Volron, the parts are designed to be printed in ABS so they can account for the shrinkage. So this set kit too, yes, I've heard about that one. That seems like a very cool option as well. Um, there's a lot of options out there. Adam, so the BLV doesn't have to be enclosed, but you can enclose it. He actually has the schematics on the design for the so you can get it laser cut if you want. I got mine cut. I actually have all my panels right here, and I have them all labeled. Let's see if I can get one out here. So I've got the panels all here ready to go. So this is the inside back panel. These were cheap enough. I got two of them in each side to add I think like $2 to get a second one printed. Each sheet was about 10, and then was able to add that on without any problem. So this is all going to be all the paneling for that printer. I could enclose this this Hypercube. I mean, it's very easy to enclose, honestly, except for like the top. You have to figure out some way to do a routing up here, but there's people design things for that. But it's very easy to slap on, 4 sides on this and go to town. Very easy to do that. I just have a spool holder here. Take that spool holder away, use an external one. You're there. And just that alone would make it easier for ABS because all you got to do is stop a draft. And if air escapes to the top, that's fine. There'll be enough heat inside. Well, plus I have the bottom enclosed here. So as long as there's heat inside and you don't have a draft going through, you can print ABS just fine. I hear a lot of misnomers about it. I don't print a lot of ABS because I don't need to, but I print it on my open air printers if I have to print it. I do have a fully closed FT5 that I do use most of the time for it, but as long as there's no draft, you're fine. Get an FL Sun QQS. Isn't that that Delta? I don't know if I would really want to buy that. I had a Delta, got rid of it. I've had 2 Deltas, 3 Deltas now. Kind of got rid of them. The extrusion hot end on the Mini aren't awesome. Yeah, so it's definitely something to think about. And there's plenty of places, Adam, you can get them locally. I just can't. I'm not in a situation where I can do that. So it was easy enough for me to order it online. And the Gunner set up earlier, if you want to talk about insane pricing, Ultimakers. Yeah, I mean, Ultimakers are super expensive. I mean, what, 3 to 5, 3 to 7 grand for some of those. So, Deltas are fine. They're just, I don't need to print tall stuff. It's really all Deltas are good for. So, I've seen good reviews on the QQ, and I've seen some bad ones. The bad ones are pretty suppressed though. You got to kind of dig a little bit on YouTube, but of course there's like 3 or 4 of them that are up there for the highlights. But hey, see you, Aaron. Thanks for hopping in, dude. There's a lot of options out there for different things. I just don't know what I want to do with that. We can close out all of these tabs now. I might look at maybe I just downloaded the newest bug fix they have for the MKS Gen 1.4. So maybe I'll take a look at this Marlin 2.0 version one day and give it a shot. Try to import my settings over. Zach, 3 years away. I hope you reuse it because I've torn apart several printers. I had that big HE3D one I tore apart. The AlphaWise U10 tore that apart. The G-Tech i3 aluminum, recycled that. I recycle a lot of them. So, Oh yeah, you pulled, yeah. I made them into custom ones. I have no reason for speed of a Delta. Things print, they take as long as they take. That's kind of, but maybe that's a YouTuber problem. That, I mean, I've got rid of most of the printers that have been sent to me at this point. I have mostly printers that I've bought. FD5, Bear, Megatron, Prusa, and then the Clone, Hypercube, BLV, Master Crane, the other one. So yeah, so 10 of the like 17 I have left all were purchased by me through obviously forums of everyone helping out, things like that. So, but yeah, of all the ones that are left, 10 of them are mine. So do a Hevo RT. Hmm. I think I've seen that before. The first thing you type in Hevo RT is Hevo RT cost. It's a 3 ball screw or a 3 lead screw, 4XY. Yeah, those look pretty sick. I did think about doing a is there a design to look at all the stuff motors and on? Oh, yeah, Yaka, go join the Discord, man. Or girl, sorry. But go down there and join the Discord and you can see stuff like that. The ultimate machine, eh? Hmm. So I was debating for a long time. I still have been thinking about doing a Taz 6 clone. I have the extrusion for it. I have most of the parts for it. And I have a 300 millimeter bed now that still does work. Not great, but it works. So I've been kind of debating on that. I like the way it's designed with the control panel on the left. Keeps it, excuse me, it keeps it a shorter machine, but you can still have a larger build volume to it. So, but it makes it a much wider machine though. So where I have 2 machines, I can only have one and something smaller beside it. So that is something I've been looking at for a very long time, is to do a Taz 6 clone build. There's several designs on Thingiverse for it. But it might be fun. Again, haven't seen too many people do that. Hypercube Evo, everyone talks about, so. In for 30 if I build it. Well, technically, Brandon, you're already in on Patreon, so you can always just up your Patreon. But I don't know, that would be, I don't think that's going to be a this year thing anyways. I think that'll be a once I move. I'm moving next summer. So I'm kind of tapped out on the custom builds because what I have right now will pretty much carry me through to the spring when I pack out. And then once I move, so come next fall, definitely could be looking at either a Hevo, the Heave Art. I don't know how people want to say that. But it could be one of those, could be a Taz 6 clone, could be any one of those, really. Kind of just depends on how things go. Could be a Volron. I don't think I'll end up doing one of those, but yeah, I mean, to do one of these Taz 6 ones would be pretty cool. Um, The Sec kit is also, again, people really rave about that one. That has different sizes. There's always the Ultimaker clones, or do an H-bot. So a lot of options. There's a lot of custom builds out there, and I'm enjoying kind of this path that I'm taking. Um, Squirrel Hill, Groggy, are you in Pittsburgh, dude? Because I'm from Pittsburgh. That is hilarious. If you are, there is $100 tier, Brandon, but that's for those ballers. No one's ever taken it yet. Everyone asks me where I'm moving to. I don't say where I live, and I don't say where I'm moving to. I live overseas. That's pretty much all I ever tell anybody. But yeah, that's all I say there. You used to live there. All right. I'm just from the other side of town originally. And then Rat Rig has a lot of cool looking machines as well that they have things for. They have the V Core. They have a whole bunch of different ones on their site for like that premium extrusion from them for these different builds. Yes, patrons do know. I do talk about in behind the scenes. I haven't done an after show in a long time because I haven't really done videos. I've been doing live streams. Um, I'm having a little more fun interacting with everyone. I have several videos I'm getting ready to record though. Just trying to make some space in here and get some more of the things working before I go to that. But yeah, I do talk about to patrons a little more um, uh, personal stuff that's going on for me and things like that. And I do talk about where I live and things like that. So if you're curious, you want to become a patron, you can do that. I'm actually from Mount Washington, so very close nearby there. Just kind of scrolling through different builds here on uh, on the Google search there, but I'm done with that. Save out this. I know, Brandon. The next video I record is going to be the um, the ANET A8 Plus review. I have all the parts printed. They're sitting on the printer. I need to finish cleaning up the office here. I'm thinking sometime in the next week, I think I'll be able to record that. I think I'll be able to. And I will do an after show for that video. I can promise you that at least. Oh, I did not want to click that button. I accidentally clicked DaVinci Resolve. Von Oliver, yep. Luke, leave the cat alone. He's eating a bug? Oh, crap. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Cat was eating a bug and the kids were, what the heck? Remind me later. Close out of that. Don't want to open Vinci Resolve. Go away. Okay. Oh, the beehive, man. Jeez, man, you're bringing it back, dude. Anyways, yeah. So one other thing I was just thinking, I meant to say earlier, I do also want to redesign the bed mount for this. So right now I'm using these really tiny thumb screws on here. I have some bigger ones that I bought. They might be like the Crowdy ones or whatever they are, but they're the big knobs. But I need to redesign the way that this mounts to the extrusion. I think it's basically going to be just inverting the way that these are currently on there. And just bring it that much lower. I just need to measure and see if I can invert these mounts because I don't really know if I can. Right now I'm sitting at 17 mils of space, but I need to drop it down, 20 mil. And the problem is that I'm using the Ultra Base platform, which has the screws already integrated into it. So swapping those out with new M3s is not going to happen because I don't want to separate the heated plate, the heated PCB from the actual glass. I'll end up like shattering the glass. So I kind of need to get a little bit creative with how I'm going to do that, maybe with some type of spacer or something in there as well. But I probably could integrate that into the 3D printed part. But yeah, it's definitely something I need to look at figuring out on how to actually get this to be better for the most part, Oh, don't worry, the bug's in heaven now. Hmm. All right. Well, I think that's it for tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna leave this on the table. I think for tonight, I'm gonna run a couple of test prints off it, see how it goes. I might end up swapping out again the throat that's in here. It's just a very cheap throat. I did order a bunch in from Printed Solid, some E3D genuines, which they're way better. Or I might just put a PTFE line one in here. I think I have some of those as well, or I ordered them and they're maybe coming. Might be lost in the mail. I'm looking here real quick. E3D parts, no, clone V6 parts. Yeah, I did get a new batch of all metal clone ones in, but I thought I ordered some PTFE lined ones on Amazon, and I don't think they came yet, or they could be somewhere here in my office, and I don't know where they are. So, aluminum angle. Aluminum angle where? Oh, to do that. I don't know if I could. You think like corner brackets, you mean, to do it? Um, but I just need to use some type of spacer in there as well to get those knobs lower on there. Or I could just design some solid mounts for this and just go ahead and put some type of auto bed leveling on here, which I don't have anything. I don't know if there is a mount for that. But I would need to use like a BL touch, something like that. I don't have any more BL touches. I used them all up. So I don't know if I have another one somewhere. And I only have, I do have several easy ABLs, but the problem is they're so freaking huge on a printer like this. I don't think they will fit. Maybe it will, because there's quite a bit of space between here and the belt. I just won't be able to probe the absolute end because I did a little bit of miscalculation when I originally cut the extrusion for this, and it's not quite wide enough. So I literally I don't even get the full size on my bed here because I screwed that up. But yeah, it's also, you lose so much space with the Hypercube design. The frame is so huge and your bed is so small. You lose a lot because of the way that it's designed, the way that all these parts interact inside the frame. It's just, you lose a lot. Where the BLV, it runs all the belts and everything closer to the outsides so you can reach those parts. So that's kind of why I was thinking about doing different doing a different design means there. So I will check out that corner bracket you guys are talking about. I have a bunch of those laying around. See how that works out. Yeah, I can check that out. But I think I'm going to call it there for tonight. I've got some testing I want to do on this. I've got some real thinking to do what I want to do with this, whether I want to just dive into a redesign of the Hypercube for these specific parts or just wait and do the full redesign with Aaron on our own Core XY. Again, up in the air what I want to do with it, but we'll see what happens. But I think it was a good stream. I thank everybody for coming. I'm hoping for, I don't know if I'm waiting for parts to come in or not. I kind of have to see what comes in the mail on Monday. I don't know what Monday's stream will be about. Maybe Marlin 2.0 on this. I don't really know. Or maybe designing parts. We'll kind of see what happens, but I do need to get recording on the reviews. Coming up, I need to print a little bit more on the Mingda D2 before I like commit to that, but I need to get some more printing done on it before I commit to a review on it. And I kind of go from there. So thank you all for coming. I think it's been awesome. Wait, the last thing here. Outside the printer area. Yeah. Again, I think that's just the design of this printer. So it's here or there. It's what it is. But I think I'll look into some redesigns for that. But yeah, so I'm going to call it there. If you guys want to make sure you know when streams are coming up, so I'm totally mixing my words up here. But subscribe, make sure hit the bell icon. You get email notification when I do live streams. Right now, I'm live streaming on Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays. So I didn't this past week. Some other stuff coming up, but hey, that's life. If you guys want to support the channel, you can do super chats. You can go down below, become a patron, get a little behind the scenes, or you can use the donate links using the affiliate codes down below. Again, all the money I make builds these printers and goes into the channel. So I appreciate everyone who has donated to the channel or uses those affiliate links to help me out. Thank you all for tuning in. Wash your hands. Happy printing. I'll see y'all next time.